Hello, maggots and fools. Welcome to Brawl Bootcamp with Peter Dinosaurus, representing the All Is Brawl Street team. Now, I was just under the chat, and the Street team is getting pretty popular. Well, this channel anyway. Everybody seemed to love it. I know Nessie said he really liked these videos. Danny Cat thought it was pretty cool. And, yeah, I just want to thank Nessie and other Street team members, JV, for making this thing pretty cool. I mean, the Street team is an awesome project, and I think everyone who has any sort of creative mind should try and join it. Anyway, up to Brawl Bootcamp on a more serious note. Don't try to cry now. I'm going to be pretty serious with you guys today on learning DI. DI, directional influence, makes or breaks a good player. If you don't use DI, you can easily die at, like, let's say 100%. You can't, like, do anything. I mean, one of my best friends, Conquer171, he's really, really good, but he doesn't use DI a lot. Or he doesn't necessarily get DI. Now, if he used DI, he could probably beat me a lot more than he does. Maybe become better than me. A lot of people who don't use DI, if they use DI, they could easily be better than me. One thing I can do well is use DI. Now I'm going to explain to you what DI is. Directional influence. Okay, let's say you're knocked off the stage by a somewhat powerful move, and you're headed at an upward angle, sort of-ish. Like, let's say you're going to the far right, and I wish I had video to show you guys, but I don't, so I'm just going to try to explain this as good as I can to you. Now, let's say you're Snake, and you get hit off by, like, a tipper by Marth or something like that, and you're going flying towards the top right corner of the screen. Now, think of the screen as a big box, and you want to try to get to the corner of the box as much as you can, because that's the most space. That's where the most space is, the farthest you can travel before you can die. Now, to do this, you're going to send yourself upwards. So what you're going to do is you're going to hold up and do a U-air to get yourself to the corner of the box. Now, let's say you're going downwards, like you got hit some weird way, like not a lethal spike, but something to knock you down. Maybe like, well, if you're hit down by a spike, you're probably going to die unless you spike cancel, which can be done by DI as well. So I'll explain that while I'm talking about it. Like, let's say you're knocked down by Zelda's spike or something. Not the strongest spike in the world, but it can do your number. When you're past the bottom half of the screen, don't do a U-air or an up-air. I mean, a down air or an up air. I can't talk. Do a side air or a fair or a bear. Either one, depending on which one's stronger, to stop your momentum and get you angled to the side so you live longer, and that can break your momentum, and it can make you survive. Now, some characters have some really good DI perks, like Game & Watch bucket breaking. If you're hit off screen with Game & Watch, if you do his bucket down B, you stop his momentum almost right away. Snake has really good DI. All of his aerials can be used to drastically alter your angle. Marth's DI is good. I can't do Meta Knight's DI, but from what I've seen from Mewtwo King, Meta Knight does have really good DI potential. So, yeah, work on the DI. It can also be used to, like, escape multi-hit combos, such as Snake's neutral air or Fox's forward air. You can escape those with good DI. It's not as essential as in Melee escaping those, but yeah, with all the air dodging and stuff, it's not as important, but it still can get you out of those. Now, since I have a good few minutes left, I'm going to talk about getting in tone with your character. Now, knowing your character is very important. Knowing his strengths, his weaknesses, his perks, his disabilities, percentages he can live at, knowing good DI with him, pretty much everything, good combo strings. Like, I use Luigi. Luigi is based off this one combo, or two combos. Jump into the person, neutral air, up tilts, then any kind of aerials you can pull off. That's it. The same thing applies with him except with a down grab. Down grab at low percentages you can up tilt, and after that you can do a bunch of aerials, opening a bunch of techniques you can do and stuff. And other than that, his only other feature is jab up B. Now, granted, he has some good recoveries and stuff, although he's gimped really easily. When I first started using Luigi, I was very frustrated because he was very slippery, and you couldn't, whenever you shielded with him or like tried to grab, you could either overshot or running grab. Or let's say you're trying to do a shield grab and you get hit by like Mars Fair, you'll get pushed backwards still. The only way to do that is to power shield, and power shielding is hard online. Offline it's hard too, per se, so I had to find a way to use his slipperiness to his advantage. So one day I come across this YouTube match of Boss and Ally. Now this Boss guy, he would never ever stay on the ground. He was always it looked like he was always trying to L cancel. And what this did was the like air dodge right before he lands, it kind of works for an L cancel a little bit, kind of like you can attack or grab or anything right into it, but at the same time right before it happens you have a frame of invincibility. So it works out really well. I'm not trying to give you a Luigi explanation. I'm just trying to say learn your characters, learn his weaknesses and stuff. Let's say you're using Kirby. He's really light and he doesn't have great DI, so you're going to have to rely on his grab combos and suicides to make up for that. Let's say you're using D3. He gets comboed really easily because he's big, but you're going to have to use his grabbing abilities to keep your opponent off the edge, and you're going to have to chain them a lot. As said, for ice climbers, they're very, 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 very easy to, like, if you get an offensive upper edge on them, like, they're going to get rocked. So they're going to have to rely on chain grabbing you a lot to keep you off bay. So remember, people, look up YouTube videos if you want to learn your characters, combo videos, look up advanced techniques. A lot of times you can find weaknesses with your players, but try to evolve them into strengths like what I did with Luigi slipperiness. Other than that, I want to give out a shout out to Chrome, Miles, Nessie, Danny Cat, the other Nessie, Cool Green Apples, well, he's now known as Schizophrenic Mango, Zhao, and yeah, that's about it. So see you guys later and take it easy.